So I'm with Chris Marsden, who's long established doyen of the Huddersfield architectural and historical scene, and who has I've just been at a talk he gave on a book of which he is the co-author, Huddersfield in 50 Buildings.
I'm the author, and Andy Caveney took the photographs very, very well.
Tell me how that came about.
Well, there's a national series of books by the publishers Amberley of 50 buildings by town and city, and the Huddersfield one was being touted about, and I said I'd like to do it if Andrew would do it with me. And Andrew and I had a history of working on other books, so we were happy to work together on this one.
Huddersfield is an architectural gem, isn't it? I mean, there are so many buildings. So, I mean, how do you go about sifting them out and choosing which buildings to feature?
Well, I thought the challenge was to tell the story of the town by not using domestic buildings. Only use public and commercial buildings. And that was a challenge because you need to go from the earliest time in Huddersfield up until the latest. And early Huddersfield has more or less disappeared under modern Huddersfield. We haven't kept our buildings. So that was interesting. But I wanted to show building types, agriculture, weaving, mills, dyeing, hospitals, schools, to show how we've grown into a market town with transport infrastructure. So the 50 came quite easily. The question was to whittle them down to just 50 and not 51.
What is it about Huddersfield that you think has produced the incredible forms of architecture that it has?
Now, there's the infrastructure. So shall I say, the bedrock of the town, shall I say, is sandstone. So we have a good building material to start with. Then the industries, let's say here, are both extractive and productive. So you've got quarrying and mining as historical industries in the town. And the use of textiles from local moorland and using local water power led to industrialization quite early on. And that led to development of chemical industries to support dyestuffs, and that came from coal. And that led to engineering to meet the needs of mining and textiles. So the three disciplines of textiles, production, mining and chemicals are self-perpetuating in that way, provided the market is there. So we've had this development in which we have this remarkable mix, cheek by jowl, of different sorts of industry. And the hills have been the hillsides have been the place where people live. And that can be seen in Goko and Linthwaite and Marsden. And the industries tend to be waterborne, water-powered, and later by coal. So we have this expression of our industries through its architecture.
What's your favourite Huddersfield building?
I suppose the one I'm most attached to is Queensgate Market. It's certainly unique, globally unique. It's also a unique nexus of architecture, art and engineering for a public building. Here, the architecture is the art, the engineering is art, and the art is architecture. It's the nexus, it's the unique nexus of the epitome of market hall architecture. Beautifully serviced from underground, and yet on a human scale. I remember Ian Nairn coming to Huddersfield in the 1970s and enthusing about it. And I bring people from around the world to visit Huddersfield, to visit the market hall, and they're never disappointed.
And what do you think is the most significant building in Huddersfield?
I suppose Huddersfield Station has been seen by so many people. It is in itself dramatic. It is an expression of a building type at its finest. It was built by, I suppose, conflict between railway companies coming together in cooperation over one building. And it has a town square, but on a town square that makes a magnificent welcome to Huddersfield. people do gasp when they come out of the station portico and look at the town for the first time. And then they turn around and see where they've come from. It is impressive.
I was struck by that, just about the last slide you showed, which was of what's now the John Smith Stadium, the football and rugby stadium, and the significance of that as a building. What's the importance of that?
Well, there were stadium disasters, as in Bradford and Sheffield, and that led to the theoretical reimagining of stadia, and the first of the new stadia was Huddersfield. Its engineering has led to it being the basis of stadia across the world for football and concerts and Olympic stadia. But the pioneering one was here in Huddersfield. It's unrestricted view, intimate, and yet a beautiful building in itself. I hope I've been reasonably fair to Huddersfield in that we don't always build the best buildings. We do make mistakes. And we do, like any town, learn from them, so that when we build, we can demolish, which we have done. On the other hand, we demolish buildings that should have been kept. And two buildings dear to people's heart are the Cloth Hall and the original 1888 Market Hall. And those that remember them are still hurt that they're no longer with us. And I hope I've been fair to everyone about this. The book is available at the Children's Bookshop in Lindley, News Track at Huntsville Station, Read at Home Firth, and the major chains and online.